Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about using the research suggestions to focus our work and to solve some problems in Family Tree. So on this particular person, my research suggestions are telling me that she is missing birth and death years and there are no sources attached. And so I'm just going to take a quick look at her. She's in here only as a spouse to a Joseph Winter. Someone has put in this marriage date, but there's no marriage place, and there's no sources to back up any of this information. So let's just see if we can find her or find a source for her. The one thing I do know about this part of the tree is Joseph Winter lived in Nottingham, so she should also be living in Nottingham. That would be one clue I would have, but I don't really have anything else to go on. I don't have any record hints, and that's probably because there's no birth information. So I'm just going to go ahead and start doing a search records, and I'm going to start with Family Search. Luckily, she has a pretty unique name, and so if I'm lucky, I'll be able to find something in Family Search. So I'm going to go ahead and click Family Search. And again, it's going to take what little it knew about her, which is only her name and who she was supposedly married to, and come up with a source. And sure enough, right here at the very top, I do have an Amy Hilda Holmes, born in, well, it doesn't say when she was born, but this is Nottingham, so that fits kind of where I'm looking. I'm going to preview the record, and she is 24 at the time, so age-wise that would fit. Joseph Winter was born in 1883, and one would assume that he would marry someone close to his age, and so 24 puts her relatively close to him in age. I don't have an actual digital image of the source here in Family Tree, but I can visit a partner site and look at it, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to go ahead and click. And so here is the source. And it shows a Sarah Holmes as the head of household who is a widow. And it looks like she had 6 children. And 3 of those children are still living with her. Looks like there's a Mary Matilda Holmes, an Amy Hilda Holmes, and a Horace Holmes all here. And it gives their occupations. And it also gives where they were born, which I don't even know how you say that, but Snighton, Nottingham. I shouldn't even try to say those names without knowing what they are. So this is a pretty good source. I think this is probably her, or at least I could start. And let's go ahead and attach this record to her. Unfortunately, it was indexed, I believe, as just an individual record. So I don't get, I'm not going to get the mother and those other 2 siblings on here, but at least for now I can get this much information in and then search again. So I brought up the source linker, and it has the information from the 1911 England and Wales census here for an Amy Hilda Holmes. And I can add from the source linker, I can add that this is where she was born. It's not going to give me her birth year, so we're going to have to do that manually. And where she was living in 1911. And I'm going to go ahead and click to attach. Once it's attached, I'm going to go ahead and click record. I want to go back to the record, and then we're going to go, actually, you know what? We're going to close this window out because I want to search again. And I'm going to do a little math here. So if she was 24 in 1911, that would make her birth year about 1885. So I'm going to go back here to her person page. We're going to refresh it because we just added this source. We added the 1911 England and Wales census. And so here we were able to add a birthplace. And now we have a source attached. That research suggestion about a source is there, but we're still missing birth and death years. So we're going to go ahead and edit this manually based on what we see in that 1911 census record. Again, just a reminder, she's 24 in 1911, so that would put her birth year at about 1885. So I click on her birthplace, what's here. I'm going to click edit, And for date of birth, I'm going to go ahead and put in about 1885. Because I do see this Amy Hilda Holmes there. Now, this came in not in standard form. So let me see if I can, here's the standard form right here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put from the 1911 England and Wales census. And I'm going to go ahead and save it. Okay, so I have a little bit more information. Now I'm going to go ahead and search, now that I've got this birth year in here and a birthplace, I'm going to go ahead and search one more time in Family Search. Now it's got a little bit more information. And let's see what we get. Okay, that census record showed up again here at the top. And here we have a 1901 census. Again, the mother Sarah was what we saw. We'll go back to the 1911. Here's Sarah, born in, looks like Lenton, Nottingham. So here we have, again, a Sarah and some other children here. And then if I go a little farther down, I have the 1891 census. Again, the birth location matches up. The birth year is a little bit different. We can adjust that. But then here again is Sarah Holmes. Same children that we see in both of these. I want to look at this one first. I like to go with the ones that I like to kind of go in order. So let's go as far back as we can. And this gives us the index of the record. And let's go take a look at it. They must be at the bottom. So here is a William Holmes is the head of household and wife Sarah. And notice that the birth location does say that it looks like a Lenton in Nottingham. I'm not familiar with that location. And then here is our Amy right here, Amy Hilda, and with that same birth location, and a Horace. Now on the 1911 census, we had also Mary Matilda, also born in Lenton. And if I go back to this 1991 record, here is Mary M. And this just means same as above, right? So also born in Lenton. So this is the same family. So we can add this family by attaching the record. So I'm going to click Attach to Family Tree. And up comes the source linker with all of those names from the England and Wales 1891 census record. And I can go ahead, I'm going to start by attaching the record here. Now the birth year, like I said, is a little bit different, so I may want to go back into Family Tree and change it from about 1885 to about 1887. Sometimes those years are a little off. It just depends on who they were interviewing for the census record. Okay, now what I can do here with the source linker is actually add the parents of Amy Hilda Holmes right into Family Search. So I'm going to start by adding William Holmes. And it brings up this Add to Family Tree box. It puts in the information from the census. So William Holmes, male, date of birth. Now this is an estimate, so I'm going to put in about 1848. I just feel more comfortable with that. Birth location is in standard form. He's deceased, and I'm going to go ahead and click Create a New Person. Now Family Search is going to search and see if they've already got a William Holmes born at this time with this information in there, and it would have suggested a possible source already in Family Tree. It did not. So it created this new source for me, this new person I should say, and I'm going to go ahead and attach the source, which is the proof of why I added him to begin with. So William Holmes is now added to my tree. Now let's add wife Sarah. Now because Holmes is her married name, when I add her, I am not going to add her as Sarah Holmes. I'm going to take off the Holmes. So I've highlighted it and I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to do more research to come up with her maiden or birth name later. But I don't want to put her in as Holmes because it will mess up searches. So I'm going to go ahead and add about for 1854. Birth location is already in standard form. she is deceased, and I'm going to click Create a New Person. So now we've added the parents of Amy Hilda Holmes, William Holmes and Sarah. And I'm going to attach the record to Sarah that proves that she should be here. And now we can go ahead and add all of these other children as well. So we're going to start with Lucy. Now, when I bring up Lucy, Family Tree has actually found a record for me. And this is probably an extracted christening record, meaning that someone had extracted out information from a christening, some parish christening records to do temple ordinance work. And so there is a Lucy Ann Holmes already here. So I don't want to create a duplicate of her. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to attach the source to her. We're going to have some duplicate parents that we're going to have to combine later, and that will be a different video. But for now, we're just going to attach the source to her. There's a good chance that all of these children have extracted christening records. So we'll see. This would be our Mary Matilda, and sure enough, Mary Matilda comes up, and I'm gonna match the source to this record, this christening record, and attach it. And I'm also creating some attachments. Okay, William F. Let's see if he has a record in Family Search. No. So he did not come up with a record. So we're going to go ahead and add him. Again, I'm going to add the word about here. And that's interesting that it says England. I'm going, because I think that the record's something different. We are, and I bet if it didn't say just England and said Lenton, Nottingham, that there might be a duplicate record. It looks like it was indexed funny. These other ones were indexed with the actual birth locations. Okay, he's deceased. I'm going to create a new person. I'm pretty sure I saw that he was Lenton on the source. And here's where I should have opened the source in another tab. And go ahead and click that. Okay, let's do Albert. He got Nottingham, so that's correct. Again, adding about, just because we're estimating. Create a new person. And then finally, our last child to add. Whoops, we've got to attach the source. So we're adding, and then we're attaching the source to prove why we added the person. And then finally, Horace. And again, I'm going to add the word about here because I don't have the exact birth date. Create a new person. And now we have taken the source, attached it, and added this whole family here. So let's go back to Amy Hilda Holmes' person page. And now what we're going to see are those research suggestions should be gone, the original ones, which they are. We've got a new one now, possible missing child, which is probably for her parents, and it is. We have two sources attached. Temple work is now open and available to do because we have a standardized birth location and place. Date and place. And now she has family members attached to her. And so just following the research suggestion and a couple of simple searches in Family Search, and we're to this point, and we still have more work to do.